Hello, this is Vance, and this is Wednesday, April the 19th, 2017. These are the CL trades for today using the slow hand method for price action. Big sell-off today after the DOE report, despite the fact that the DOE report was slightly bullish. And so I'll talk about that today. But what I really want to talk about more than anything before I get started with that was yesterday. Yesterday morning, I came on here with the pre-market bite, and I talked briefly about the market bait trading on the May contract from what happened on Monday. And I've got the chart up here. So this was Monday. I talked about the trades on Monday, and I was talking about this right around the open and that things had been slowing down. Well, the reason by the time 10 o'clock rolled around yesterday, there wasn't a lot of contracts trading. It was really very slow, and I had assumed it was because of the holiday, which was incorrect. Actually, what happened is that this is rollover week, and I think the contract was supposed to be trading as of the 19th. However, when I checked the CME website to look at the volume of contracts on Monday, it was still Monday. Still had the April contract, or the May contract still had a heading over the June contract. But as of yesterday, there was a huge flip flop. So on the 17th, I'll just show it to you. I'll just kind of yank it over here off the sheet. As you can see, on Monday the 17th. We had total volume was, I'll kind of mark it off, make it a little easier to see. As you can see, the total volume for contracts was futures was 326,000 versus 225. This is on Monday. But more importantly, open interest. Now, open interest at the close, there's 106,000 contracts outstanding, and for the June contract, 585,300. So this was a decline here, and a fairly significant increase, and it was still pretty high on Friday. That should have been an indication, but I hadn't checked this. As of yesterday, you can see that on the 18th, you can see that the volume on the June contract way overtook. It was more than double what the May contract was. And that's why it was so slow. And I didn't catch that. It kind of caught me by surprise. And you can see at the close, the open interest as far as contracts outstanding at the close on the June versus the May contract. I have no explanation for that. I just kind of missed it. And I wasn't really conscious of that going into it. And so therefore, excuse me. As of yesterday, at this area, I kind of switched over and started trading the June contract mid-session, basically, and so that's why I didn't have anything listing. I showed the May or the June contract trading because that took over in volume. So I hope it wasn't too confusing for people. Maybe it's something I should write in there, but I haven't really seen that before. Didn't see that I shouldn't say I've never seen it, but it's very rare that the front month contract is overtaken in such a rapid manner from one day to the next. And I didn't see it, but I kind of caught it mid-session. Anyway, that's it for that. So let's talk about maybe it has something to do with maybe the potential sell-off as far as the market was concerned. I don't know, but let's talk about today's contract. Let me get this sheet off here. Okay, so today was the DOE report, the API report. In fact, there was a drawdown yesterday, American Petroleum Institute. Prices kind of bumping up against this $53 mark. I thought maybe if we had slightly bullish report, prices would perhaps move higher. But no, this $53 has been kind of the line in the sand for the last couple sessions. I mean, it was a little bit higher on Monday from last week, $53.70. But yesterday, and $53 is really kind of like the line in the sand sort of thing. But price did kind of trade up. Now, I was in here early, long. I forgot to mention the fact that there was a DOE report. I got in here. Was able to get two contracts off because of as we were getting close to the hour, you're always concerned about what happens at 10:30. I didn't mention that in the pre-market bite. However, that was in fact the case. Hopefully people recognize that by now, that at 10:30 is an important time to maybe stay out of the market. When price, at about 11 o'clock, we had the second entry short right here, kind of a top of a channel, and I thought this was a place to go short. Price didn't seem like, even though the report was somewhat bullish, there was a drawdown. Prices didn't really want to rotate back up, and so getting in short here was probably the best way to do it. The fact of the matter is that you have room to get out, and we had this decline from when the report was actually published, so I think that was something to keep in mind. Now, I was probably expecting a bounce down here, maybe just a measured move, but price continued to sell off. In fact, when we had this bit of a turnaround here, and I'm saying that, it didn't break through this trend channel or this channel, we did, you can see that there's no second entry shorts here. Price is moving down further. We have another drop, kind of tries to pull back, another drop, pulls back, tries to pull back again, another drop. So price continued to move further down until about noon, and then slowly price is kind of building up. Here's a second entry along here, but I didn't think it was really, there wasn't enough room to get to the top. You might have taken this trade, but after a drop like this and a rebound, there wasn't a lot of room. I mean, it would be an aggressive trade if you expect us to rotate back up, but after a move like this one for that magnitude, and we're talking from about, let's call it 5270, let's say 5275 down to 5190, we're looking at 85 ticks. Is this an instance where it's going to completely turn around and hit march back up? I wasn't sure. So you'd have to really have a short bias at this point in time. And if you were fortunate enough to take this second entry short here, off of this one, really at the top of what I delineated, this range gives you enough room to get out. Price just continued to sell off, and it sold off again. No real second entry shorts here. You can see there was no real place to get in, so you just had to ride this thing down. Unfortunately, I mean, some of these ones you might have been, you could have argued that this was a first pullback, second pullback here, and get short here. But again, it was it's when you're in a strong trend, there's really very few clear second entries, and that's kind of the challenge when you're looking at the market from this perspective. In these cases, you may consider going to a longer time frame just to kind of like give you some perspective. I don't advocate it myself, but to give it a little more clarity, individuals might want to do that. So there wasn't really a lot of trades. You really had to be short and stay on it, and look at those areas where you saw weakness. Now, by the time 2 o'clock runs around, you see that price is kind of firming up down here, and after the close, we may have a retracement back up. But we're down to the $50. The magic number is really about the $50 mark, 50.51. We started the high that was 53.08, so we've had an unwinding of about the $2 and roughly $2.50. It's not out of the realm of possibility for that to actually happen. I mean, $2.50 is greater than what the usual sell-off is or gain as far as the market is concerned, but it's not really out of the ordinary. Anything over $5 is pretty out of the ordinary. It doesn't happen very often, but $2.50 is pretty. It's a pretty fairly decent decline. Now, what does that mean? He says, well, we'll have to see what the news is going forward. I mean, China today made an announcement where they had pretty good economic activity. That might be, I would have think that would have been buoyant for oil prices, but also the rig counts were up, and so that may mean that there's more oil coming on the stream. I guess the political turmoil that existed on the weekend wasn't enough to perhaps spike oil prices in the other into the bullish side. But we'll wait and see tomorrow. Tomorrow should be very interesting, considering that we had this sell off today, and we'll see how prices stack up for tomorrow, in particular the overnight, and where they're heading from there. I don't know at this point in time, particularly because this is a rollover week. There's a lot of influences here that are at work. But we'll take a look at it and go from there. So not a lot of trades today. You had to really be on the short side in order to make any real profit today. And, I was fortunate enough to get the trade off of here, but certainly it was short from then on. So anyways, that's it for now. This is Vance. If you have any other questions, please let me know. Bye for now.